How's it going? Paul Corral here, and in this video we're talking about why those Facebook ads just aren't working like they used to. We're going to be talking about that new Andromeda update and exactly what coaches and consultants are doing right now so that you can actually use it to your advantage. What's incredible about this new algorithm update is if you know what you're doing, you can scale your ads much bigger, much faster, without dramatically cutting into your profit margins. But you have to know what you're doing in 3 key areas, and that's what we're going to cover on this video right now. All right, so I'm going to run through this via Google Doc, and of course I'll make this document available to you somewhere around this video. We're going to cover why your ads aren't working anymore, the massive opportunity that Andromeda presents, and how to overcome the top 3 challenges that we're going to get into. That's decimating most advertisers, but it'll actually become a strategic advantage for you. And I'm going to lay it out in the context of a 3-step framework I call authority advertising that works with the algorithm and not against it, so that you can gain a massive competitive advantage. Like I said, scale to the moon without destroying your profit margins. Okay, so let's jump in. My thesis has been the same for about 2 years at this point. Essentially make your paid advertising feel like organic discovery, okay? And essentially right now what's happening is that Andromeda is forcing everybody to do this, whether they realize it or not. And we'll get into that in a little bit more detail. But first, let's talk about the first question that people are running into. Hey, we know it's all about creative, but damn it, man, my creatives are burning out in like a week or 2, and I'm overwhelmed. Am I just going to have to get used to just cranking out an obscene amount of creative all the time and just having them only work for a week or 2 before I got to replace them? No, you don't. Don't worry. Instead of like playing that whole, hey, let's just throw stuff against the wall haphazardly and see what sticks, there's a lot smarter way to go about this, okay? And what's cool about it is it's going to essentially build your audience at an accelerated rate for pennies on the freaking dollar and build your authority in your niche market, so that when you go generate a lead or you generate a phone call, people already know, like, and trust you. The leads are going to be less, the phone calls are going to be less, and the sales are going to feel like total laydowns. At the same time, you're going to be able to get around this whole ad fatigue thing. And here's what it's going to look like. You're going to create regular organic content, but you're going to do it in the context of different segments, problems, desires, and levels of awareness in the marketplace, okay? So you have a big problem that you solve, but people are approaching it from different positions, right? They care about this particular entry point or that particular entry point. Or maybe they're just becoming aware of the problem and they haven't even dug into the solution, and you need to educate them first, right? That would be somebody that's very top of funnel. Maybe it's somebody who knows they have a problem and they're starting to get an inkling of what the solution might be, and they're looking for options. That's somebody more middle of funnel. That's a different type of content. So you see now that it's not necessarily just like, oh, I'm going to come up with a bunch of different hooks and I'm going to try a carousel, a face to video, or just like a big headline ad or something. It's not just a matter of format. It's psychological. And we're going to get into this in depth in a moment. But this brings up another point. Regular organic content isn't optional anymore. Okay, one ad, one funnel, printing high 6-7 figures anymore, not going to work. All right, you're already hearing it from your salespeople. Like, these people aren't qualified, or these people are super skeptical. I need to have 5 freaking calls with them before they buy. All that stuff. This eliminates that, and the way you're going to do it is you're going to crank out regular organic content. You're going to take the stuff that gets good engagement, and you're going to amplify it via engagement, video view, profile visit ads. This is going to build that warm audience for literal pennies on the dollar and literally manufacture celebrity for you, because you can make it so that people see content from you over and over and over again. Once they're in your ecosystem, you just keep adding value through that both organic content and amplifying it via paid ads. Simple enough, right? And this gets you past all that stuff with, oh man, do I just create a bunch of random ads and just hope that it works and know that I got to do it again next week? No. You can completely escape that cycle. Not to mention build an actual audience and become an authority. Okay? So that's why it works. I think I kind of went over all this already. So let's just go ahead and move on. So the creative stuff, especially now with AI, super easy. I'll get into that in depth in another video where you can use AI to help you really dig into the psychology of your clientele and hit those different pain points, those different things you need to educate them on at different levels of awareness or the buying cycle. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is the algorithm is essentially punishing you for treating all your traffic the same. This goes a little bit back to what I was talking about, levels of awareness. And you remember my thesis earlier when I talked about moving the funnel essentially online and making it feel like organic content, organic discovery. Here's what that's going to look like, okay? So what people are doing is, they come up with 3 to 5 ad variants that's usually targeted at the middle of funnel, right? People who are problem aware, solution aware. And they crank them out and they work really good so far, but then they die real quick because that's only a small segment of the overall market, right? So what you want to do is you want to create more ads, yes, but not just more of the same, but more ads for the people at the top of funnel. Again, people who aren't even aware they have a problem yet, right? People who are just now becoming aware they have a problem, but they have no clue on how they're going to solve it, and they need to be educated via your content, right? Content that can very easily become an ad. Again, content, ads, they're the same damn thing now, right? Okay. So here's what it looks like. You break your audience into awareness levels. You serve ad creative and messaging that matches where people are at, right? That more educational piece up top, that more proof to the warm people, and a direct, no-nonsense offer to the people who already know, like, and trust you and are ready to pull the trigger, right? Okay. So treat your ad flow like your funnel. Again, you're just making that journey instead of like a 20-step automated funnel that bores people to death and emails nobody reads. You build it right into the freaking ad set, man. And that's another thing. Super, super basic. Like, it's not completely gone, targeting that is, but it's close. Pretty much you're going to test like interest stacks, lookalikes, and just wide open, like with nothing but, say, demographic targeting, if that's even relevant to your offer, right? What's really going on is, and you're not going to have a gajillion ad sets. You're going to have at least 3 to 5 different ads, probably using dynamic creatives, inside a single ad set that, again, acts as your funnel. You got ads for the completely unaware, problem aware, solution aware, people that know, like, and trust you and just need a little nudge off the fence, right? Okay. So, again, the way you're going to structure the campaigns is way simpler now, and it doesn't require all this like tweaking in the platform itself so much anymore, as knowing your audience really, really well, knowing the language they use, the pain points, the outcomes they're looking for, and tailoring your message to those different levels of the funnel. Okay? And that's how you can take what you conventionally run into your, whatever funnel you're using right now for lead generation or conversion, into the stratosphere. This is what's going to allow you to break out of that, oh, my ad works really well for 2 weeks and then my cost per lead goes through the roof thing. Or, oh, this works really well on a low budget, but every time I try to scale, man, my cost per acquisition goes through the roof and just eats up all my margin, right? Instead, you do it like that right there, and you can scale to the freaking moon, and it actually starts working better. It's pretty cool stuff first time you pull it off. All right, so 3. Okay, why your warm leads are not converting, even though they're clicking, right? You know, how to turn attention into action without complex funnels and fancy tools. We've talked about this, right? You've got people watching your videos, clicking your links. Maybe they've even opted in. Maybe they're on your list, but they're not booking. Okay? So what's happening here is, again, you know, the assumption is still this very old school thing. Like, once somebody's on my list or visited my website, they know me, that they know what I'm about. They're never going to forget that. And when they're ready, they'll buy. Like, no, we're all so distracted now. We all have the attention span of gnats on crack. You know what I mean? Like, I come across old stuff from creators that I was like, oh man, this guy's super cool. Like, really interesting, insightful stuff. I'll never forget who this guy is. And then 6 months will go by, I won't see anything from him, and then all of a sudden they'll pop up in your feed, right? You don't want that happening, right? That campaign where you're distributing highly engaged content top of funnel and adding value, creating those repeated exposures will ensure that doesn't happen. And then structuring your campaigns in the middle in accordance to those levels of awareness will allow you to scale your current funnels and lead generation more conventionally. But those people aren't converting like they once were. People once saw a 10x return on ad spend doing stuff like webinars and call funnels, and now they're like doing 2-3%. Sometimes they're just barely breaking even, and they're freaking out. Here's how you fix that. Just like I said earlier in the thesis, selling like it's organic, selling like an influencer, moving the funnel online, is you can create really simple ads that just say, are you this person? I know you're this person because I've been targeting you for months, right? Do you have this issue, or do you want this outcome? Well, that's exactly what we do, and we get it done in X amount of time. And here's some social proof. Here's our proprietary process. Here's our requirements. Let's talk. And link that damn thing directly to your calendar if you want. I mean, it really doesn't have to be fancier than that. Think about how influencers make incredible sales because they have these huge audiences that they've built doing TikTok dances or whatever, right? And then they go, hey, everybody, I have an energy drink. And they sell a gajillion dollars in like 3 minutes or something, right? You can essentially do a less obnoxious, a smaller version of that and create really nice 6-figure influxes of cash in very short amount of time. These are the type of ads that you just only serve to warm people that already know, like, and trust you. And these, you know, when you see like guru types of people saying, oh, I'm getting, you know, calls for clients for, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, 70 bucks, 60 bucks, you know, around there for like that this is essentially what they're doing. So this one little ad usually gets you 20x plus return on ad spend and can bring the whole campaign up to 10x plus. You see what I'm saying here? Okay. So this stupid little ad, and I swear I could give you a script and you could crank out 2-3 versions of it, launch it tomorrow, and have appointments waiting for you the next day. This is one of my little pieces of secret sauce. Okay, so let's recap. Let's recap what I'm calling this authority advertising. Right, the thesis again is make advertising feel like organic discovery. Essentially, sell like an influencer, but be able to use paid advertising to step on the gas. You don't have to do TikTok dances for 2 years and build a couple 100,000 person following. You can get this stuff going with content that you likely already have sitting in your profile, like right now, right? And you can scale it as fast as you want. And what this ecosystem becomes is a flywheel for you that gets you more appointments with more qualified people for less money over time. Because of course your ecosystem grows, right? You're building your authority, you're manufacturing celebrity top of funnel by amplifying organic content via paid ads. You're able to scale your current conversion focused or lead generation ads exponentially without eating into your profit margins, right? Because you're hitting the entire market from totally unaware to most aware, rather than just relying on that little middle piece that most of you are experiencing ad burnout at an accelerated rate with these days, right? And then finally, at the bottom, you have a straightforward, low-key offer, and you're just like, hey, you know me, you know who I help, you know what we do. Let's talk, no big deal, bam, and that's where you get your hyper-qualified, ready-to-buy people on the phone for less than $100 typically, right? And if you're B2C, less than 50 a lot of the time, okay? That's it. That's the whole formula. If you do that, you will be doing exactly what Andromeda wants you to do, and you will absolutely crush the game and be able to scale to the moon without destroying your margin. In fact, oftentimes when you scale, it works even better. Okay? Hope that's helpful. That's all for today. If you want my help, have me take a look at what you're doing, maybe explore the possibility of working together. It'll go somewhere around this video depending on where you see it. I'll put a way to get in touch. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.